Hello and welcome to League of Loggers. This is episode 10 tonight. We are week 9 of the LCS. We had all sorts of craziness happen. We had peeps win that shouldn't have, you wouldn't have thought that that's how that was going to go.
Yeah, there were some upsets for sure.
Let's not watch last week's episode ever for what we were making calls on, like Fox possibly having 2 out of the 4 games.
Well, okay, you know what?
I mean, technically they did have 2 of those 4 games.
First thing we are going to discuss is Golden Guardians and Echo Fox locked in the 2 remaining playoff spots. Golden Guardians locked it in on Saturday. Echo Fox won it on the second game of Sunday. But the thing is, we made a bet on that. That's why there's Taco Bell here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I've got to say, though, I said, I just felt that Echo Fox was the best of those teams at the time, which is why I put my money on them.
You were smart.
But then, honestly, afterwards, it's oh, wait, they have a shit schedule. They have to play Team Liquid first, whereas CLG gets to play 100 Thieves. Or not, they played 100 Thieves?
Today, or Saturday. Yes.
But yeah, it was just but if Fox loses to TL, it's they have to win against CLG and then win a tiebreaker, and I'm like, shit, that might have been a mistake. And Echo Fox showed the fuck up.
It really did.
It looked really, really good. Definitely looked like the team out of all those others that deserved to make playoffs. Them and Golden Guardians both. If talking about Golden Guardians, Echo Fox, Optic, CLG, and Clutch. Only 2 of those teams looked like good teams, and those are the 2 who made it, thankfully. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to watch these guys in playoffs, but, I mean, they look so good this weekend. Even Golden Guardians, they only played Optic and then Fly, and then a tiebreaker against Fly, but they were convincing in their 2 wins. So, do you have anything to say about them? I guess
nailed it.
Fox, they did well. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like you cover all the bases. They came in, they showed up. Mm-hmm. They showed up in a big way, actually. Yeah. This wasn't just taking down 2 easy teams. Team Liquid was one of them.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, did they make Team Liquid look silly.
With a Lulu Kog'Maw bot.
Yes.
Oh man, haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. Well, we saw
it worked so well.
It did
with Lulu, her ults and stuff. And Rush looked amazing. I mean, he looked like a good player. Good job.
I have to say that
he came back refreshed.
That game, though, I definitely thought they threw it at Baron.
Which one?
When Phoenix was on the Lissandra alone at the red buff brush, and Liquid's coming, and it's just okay, you should be bailing out Phoenix. And he's I'm going in 1v5! His whole team's coming from base because they had recalled or whatever, and he's I'm coming! It's just the fuck? And he gets obliterated. Mm-hmm. It's oh, well, this is fucking over. And Liquid kind of hesitates on whether or not they want to go right for the Baron or get that 5v4 fight, which I get it. And then as Fox is well, we're way ahead, so we're gonna push you off Baron. Liquid starts running away, and then in that 30 seconds or whatever, Phoenix has respawn. He has teleport, so he teleports to a minion or a ward. It just happens there's somewhere for him to teleport that's way behind where Liquid's running to. And it's just oh shit, this is gonna work. You're a lucky piece of shit. He should have thrown.
He
that
knew that he had to die
hard.
right at that point to come back to teleport at the right time. Otherwise, you're just not gonna.
No, it was 7D chess. It was surprise play. He's well, if I back, then they'll know I might teleport. But if I'm dead, they'll forget. They won't be watching my respawn timer because it's we've got another 15 seconds after he respawns. No, I'm behind you, bitches. But
they all played very well. It wasn't just Rush, but I just wanted to commend Rush because he came back after that.
Yeah.
Not doing so well, then Panda being in the game, and then...
Yeah, they played a handful of games with Panda. Rush comes back, and they go 4-0 to end the season, beating Cloud9, Team Liquid on the way out. Mm-hmm. The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think they might have finally found their groove. It's a little sad. I mean, it's not even hard to say it's a little sad because they still made playoffs.
It's just in time.
Yeah.
Any later, it would have been... They were fucked.
Oh, yeah. No, they made a good choice to do this. Mm-hmm. And they looked well. I mean, they looked really good doing it, so...
Yeah, I think they're kind of scary heading into playoffs just because of how they've looked over the last, not just 1 week, I was saying to Stray, I'm like, well, I thought they looked really good this week, but, at the same time, I'm like, well, it was just a week.
Yeah.
But they've done it 2 weeks in a row now. And it's just like, okay, yeah, that's exactly the stride you need to be on as you head into playoffs here.
And Teal had the upper hand on that game, in the early game, in my opinion.
It was pretty close, I do recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I remember it being 6-4 at one point. No, it was Fox's favor. Wow, so Fox pretty much...
Yeah, I think Fox was ahead the whole time.
Yeah, I'm used to TL being on the blue side. I don't know what fucking happened here, but...
Yeah.
Then being on red's throwing me off. Anyways, Core JJ saved someone, and apparently...
This is the Echo Fox Halder was expecting since the beginning of the season. I didn't expect them to be this good. Just, I think Apollo and Hakuho are a solid bot lane. I have no qualms with that. Solo in the top lane, I think he's solid too. Phoenix has been way better this season than he was last season, and so I think that's been a big difference, and I didn't know what they were going to get out of Rush.
Did we get a whole split with him? With Phoenix?
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year. He played the whole spring split last year. It was summer split when all that shit went down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that whole split existed, I guess.
It's been a while. But yeah, I think Phoenix, he's been playing star player caliber for the most part, and over the last 2 weeks, Rush has been really good. It's interesting to think how high this team could have ended in the standings had they played like this all year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played super disjointly through most of this split. It seems like they finally just kind of found their groove, I guess. It sucks that it did take them this long, but luckily they didn't throw enough in the, from week 1 to here that they still have a chance at the playoffs, and so, I don't know. Fox, 0 to hero, I guess.
Yeah. And from 10th to playoffs, 5th place in fact, they climbed halfway up the standings in one split, Golden Guardians.
And on the back end of that split.
Yeah.
On the back end of that split.
Yeah, they were kind of wavering
there. 2 weeks, because there was a losing streak for a while there.
Yeah.
The losing streak was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks, yeah.
So they came back through the 0-4 GGs is what we're talking about.
Oh, you pivoted, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said, and Golden Guardians, making it from 10th to, because you said 0 to hero, 10th to 5th.
Oh shit, I was talking about the other team still.
No, I moved on.
No, Golden Guardian, yeah, those first 2 weeks, sorry. Yes, that's what I said at the very beginning, is that they had a really rough start, and, right around week 3 is when things started, just quietly getting better and better every week, so,
yeah.
I don't know, kudos to them. Bought their hat, I've got their jersey on order, so...
Nice.
You just did it today? Or?
Yeah.
You did say if they made playoffs.
Yeah.
Did you get one with Viking Redbeard on the back?
No, so I actually tried plugging it in. Too many letters.
Oh.
It's 12 letters.
You could have just gotten Viking.
It's not the same.
It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Because I've had
no,
longer
definitely
names
wouldn't have
too.
done that. I didn't.
BK. That's about as much as I would have done for that. How much does it cost to get it put on the back?
It's $20.
It's
60.
Just for the lettering?
Yeah,
That's not bad,
it's
Oh, wow.
I think it's $60 for a regular jersey, and then if you add lettering to it, it bumps it up to $80.
Oh shit! I thought it was $10.
I'm gonna fact check myself real quick.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, yeah, I think.
If I had a whole bunch of excessive money to buy all the jerseys and be cute and stuff, I would.
Yeah, don't buy clutches and stuff.
Okay, obviously not.
Ever.
Fucking Texas, fuck it. It looks like it's something from a Texas Roadhouse restaurant.
Oh my god,
damn it!
But I do like that restaurant. So. Fuck.
All right. Golden Guardians, I think they've been interesting in that they've been pretty consistent all season, but consistently improving the whole time. I feel like Anero's doing a great job as a coach there, and that team is really meshing better and better as we go. Every now and then we're still seeing, some pick that's I don't know why you picked this, but overall that was the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Why is this one red? Why is that one green?
Because FlyQuest beat Golden Guardians.
I thought the green was beat.
Yes. Golden Guardians was beat by FlyQuest. That's why it's green in that
underneath.
column. Yes.
I'm going left to right here, not up and down anymore. I'm like, well, you fucked it up.
No, I didn't.
You didn't. Of course
you just had a mild seizure.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Because it makes sense to my brain that you're I haven't been in school for long enough to ever read a chart. This is the first chart I've had to read in probably over a decade, so...
I think Golden Guardians
so
has looked really good. They've become very cohesive as a team.
Because even in that game, I felt like they did well.
Yeah, they didn't play poorly in that game. FlyQuest just went off,
Yeah.
especially with Maxi. They had a sub in, so Santorin's been sick. And so the game they played earlier in the day, I mean, obviously being like kind of a, not terribly high stress, but like if they win that, then they don't have a tiebreaker. But so there was some extra stress on it, and to begin with, you're already playing at that pro level. So he was just like wiped after that match, and he's like, I can't play the tiebreaker.
Yeah. I wonder what would have happened if Maxi had played that game too, just because being sick fucks you up. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But no, Maxi played
he
really
did
well.
well, yeah.
Credit to him. Like to be like, all right, kid, your first game, tiebreaker, go. Like it's not. At least it wasn't like if you lose, we're out of playoffs, so don't suck.
That's true. Maybe that would have been the reasoning behind not bringing him in, because that would be really.
No, FlyQuest was already locked in. They were locked in last week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have mattered if they hadn't come in.
But it was crazy. Yeah.
I hope Santorin gets better. Shit.
Well, I love, just for a moment, Duck says in the chat that he's watching the last matches of LCK. I turned on some LCK the other night just cuz, and it was the bottom two teams playing. I was like, for everyone who's like, oh, the worst teams in LCK could do fine in NA. No, that was such a garbage fiesta, like clown fest. It would have gotten Bubble Wrap Midget Wrestling Match of the Week. It was so bad. I'm watching, I'm just like, this is shit. This is absolute shit. This is Korea? Yeah, this is Korea. This is absolute shit. Like, it was so bad. Jin Air Wings. Oh, God. It was not good.
I didn't watch it. I mean...
Yeah, that's the reason I just watched it was KT Jin Air. It was so awful.
I'm surprised they have any wins, Jin Air. Because when I had last
well, yeah, they get to play KT every now and then.
Maybe that's it. Because I hadn't checked in on them in a while, and they were still at 0, so they won at some point in there.
Oh, man. So... but back to the LCS. Golden Guardians and Echo Fox making playoffs.
Well, hold on. I have one final thought on Golden Guardians. How do you guys see them doing next split? I know we've got a little bit of time before that, but I mean, if you look at who they beat this split, it wasn't anyone better than them. Right. I mean, they were a middle-of-the-road team, which just makes playoffs if you're one of the better middle-of-the-road teams, which I think they were. If they make some if they continue to improve, which they have been so far, I think they'll be a playoff team again. Okay.
It's unless they take a step back or some other lower teams make massive improvements. I think they seem pretty solid, personally.
Well, so I mean, 100 Thieves is like a team that, like, on paper, you would think that they would have won a lot more games, and so
depends on if you think Afro is still good.
Yeah. So like a team like that scares me going into next split, knowing that they've had a whole season to get their act together, but then where they end this split. I'm going off tangent here. I'm scared. I think that they're going to do probably the same thing. Like, do you see them getting any better? Like,
not a top 3.
Like,
I think I don't see them as a top 3. That 6-4 spot seems reasonable. I don't think they have the star power on their team to make a top 3. I mean, when it comes down, it's just like, any sport where you have a small number of people, so like basketball or something, like a team who's great and cohesive and has really good role players doesn't win the division because you need someone who's an all-star. And when you're looking at Liquid, well, it's fucking like all-stars, and Impact's kind of on the decline towards the back end of his career now, it seems like, but you still have Jensen's very good. Double Lift is fucking Double Lift. Core JJ, he's great. Like, you have that. You've got Cloud9 with Licorice, who's probably, or definitely the best top laner in NA right now. Probably one of the best in the world currently, oddly enough. It's weird to think
That's
that.
a lot of pressure.
Well, he was one of the best top laners at Worlds last year. Like, he was the best NA player at Worlds last year, which is nuts, because he was a rookie.
Worlds, like, Cloud9 made it, like, almost to the finals, and...
But yeah, I mean, you've got Licorice, you've got Niski who's playing well,
Yeah.
Zazel's a great support too, and not to discount these players I'm not mentioning, but then you also look to TS7, you have Bjergsen, and you have Sven, and you have Smoothie, like, these players are stacked with great players, and right now, if I'm looking at Golden Guardians, I'm like, Froggen's pretty good, but I don't know that he's necessarily a top 3, he might be. Definitely's pretty good. I don't know that he's top 3. He might be. Like, that's how it is with all of their players, and that's why I see them at like 6-5-4. Because until one of their players announces themselves as, no, I'm fucking here, let's go. Like, if Contract's like gets really consistent and is still super aggressive, he might be a top 2 jungler in the league. And at that point, all bets are off.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool. No, I like that. I hope that that's what happens. Like, but yeah, no, it was just a little concerning. It's like, I'm a Golden Guardians fan, but when I see who they're not beating, they're beating everyone else other than top 3 teams.
Yeah.
Like, they squeezed 1 TSM win out, so...
I feel like if they get past this first week against Fly, TL would pick them.
Oh,
easily.
Absolutely. I said, yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I
said
think
that
TL...
already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, TL has lost to both Echo Fox and TSM, so you
Yeah,
probably don't
I don't
pick
think
them.
GG's is... yeah.
Like, it is, you're just like, well, we've lost to them already. Let Cloud9 deal with them.
That would be a fun matchup, though, for C9 TSM.
Yeah. Well, and
because I think they're a little bit more...
speaking of fun matchups involving Cloud9, on day 2, Cloud9 played, but they didn't play?
Yeah.
I really like how that's the next talking point, and you literally just smoothly rolled into it.
Yeah.
I'm good at...
Yeah.
It's even smoother
Yeah,
when
it's
you don't
right
mention
there.
it. But
No, fuck that. We want to...
But for real,
Gotta call you out
Cloud9...
on it because it was really smooth.
Yeah, on day 1, Cloud9 won, which locked in their playoff bye. They were locked into second place because if they lost on day 2 and TSM won, they would tie, but they beat TSM both times this season, so they had held the head-to-head tiebreaker. And on the other side, if they won and Liquid lost, they would be tied in record, which ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
But Liquid had beaten them twice, so they held the head-to-head, so it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So Cloud9, who's always been great about their academy team and like rotating in players to see how they do and stuff. I mean, we've seen Golden Glue and Blabber just once this season. Last split, we got we got Keith McBrief down there. Zazel came in and stayed, and you know all that stuff going on. And they played their entire academy roster this time. They're like, no, these guys are good. They're in the academy championships. They won the academy championship last year. Yeah, Academy Worlds and Academy MSI. So they're like, oh, let's put him in. So we got Kumo in the top, formerly known as Shiro, formerly known as League.
That's it, League?
League was his original one when
That's
he
okay.
got like picked up by Cloud9. They're like, you can't be named League. So he changed it to Shiro. So it was Shiro all last year, and then this year he changed it to Kumo. So he's Kumo. In the jungle we had Blabber. In the mid lane, Golden Glue. Everybody knows those two. And then in the bot, Keith, formerly Keith McBrief, who has been around for a long time and played on LCS rosters before. And Diamond, who's like the new blood in that roster and in the support. And they played against Clutch. And they fucked them up.
Yeah, well, it's Clutch. But...
That was... It was an academy team!
Dude, these people looked good. They
Like-
looked smart. They looked when you talk like because I understood that Braum got the assist. I just wasn't sure how at one of the kills.
Oh.
Basically, oh, she just fired the rocket. She picked up a fucking
Yeah.
snipe on a kill to be 100% kill participation. And Diamond had gotten the assist as well because he'd stand by me to Jinx after any point, I guess, in the 10 seconds that she had fired the rocket.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, that's smart.
I'm sure it was right as he fired off the ult, Brown was just like, oh, quick, let me, like, give you defensive stats, even though you're shooting from across the map, and I still get the assist.
That level of play is far better than Vulcan is gonna come up with, I'm sorry.
Like, that's when you see a big team fight happening as Soraka, and you're nowhere near the fight. You just you're like, nobody in my team needs the ult, but I would like 5 assists, please. Well, on Warwick, if you pop his blood scent one, like the active of his blood scent, does it give you assists?
No,
That'd be amazing.
Oh.
I didn't know if you had, like, maybe if you hit the active it counted, but...
Ooh, I guess I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, I mean... No, I don't think so.
Yeah. No,
Very interesting.
So anyway, though, I mean, Clutch, to be fair, was still playing their changed up roster, and
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about the roster they sported this weekend. Because to their credit, they said, okay, obviously we need to try new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They brought in Cody Sun, who we had just talked about last week being on their bench, or maybe it was the week before. Cody Sun played down bot with Vulcan. I think he looked all right. For a team that's losing both games, he didn't play badly.
Yeah.
But what I take huge issue with is they subbed DeMonte out of mid to keep Piglet in and played him in the mid. I personally think DeMonte's one of the better mids in the league. And I have a hard time understanding why you think Piglet, who's been playing Marksman all year, should be playing your mid lane. Like,
I got nothing.
Put him on the academy as your mid for
hey, I did this out in solo queue for a week. Let's just see how it rolls on stage.
And like, there have been other pros who have said apparently it's like, oh, he's really good. I think if he just decided if he wanted to play mid or bot, he would be better at that. But he like plays both all the time online and shit. And playing both is good. Playing all the roles is good to a point, so that you have more knowledge of what's going on as a team. But yeah, and I'm sure like probably in scrims he's playing mid sometimes and stuff. But yeah, I think if you put him like on the academy roster for like 3 weeks and just said you're playing mid all the time with the academy roster, and then we'll do like 2 weeks of you mid with the main team and see how that goes, fine. But you can't just go, all right, hey, and especially when you have DeMonte in mid. Like if you're benching Hooney, or not Hooney, well, if you were benching Hooney, fine. But if you're benching like Hoohee, I get it.
Yeah.
He's not amazing. But you're benching DeMonte? Like,
I like DeMonte.
I do too. I think he's one of the best NA mids to show up in a while. Like, I just don't understand
I think he did really well last year on Echo Fox. Like, I don't think he's the problem right now in Clutch, but I don't think he's, like, flourishing with, like, the people around him.
Yeah. I just don't even know with that. So, something that this game does obviously bring up into questions. We're in a franchise league now. We used to have relegations and promos. If you were a bottom couple team, you played the top couple. It was Challenger League back then. It was different. They weren't owned by or necessarily owned by the teams who were playing in the main league. And if you lost to the lower team, like whoever won that head-to-head got the spot. Like that's how Cloud9 originally made it into the league. Is they won a promotion game. Cloud9 Academy at one point also won a promotion game, got in, and since you couldn't have two teams, you couldn't have Cloud9 White and Cloud9 Blue.
But they did that a long time ago, right? Like Samsung White, Samsung Blue?
Well, yeah, no, that's way... That was made not allowed after, like, season 3, I believe. Maybe season 4.
It might have been 4, because I think
4
was that year that they
right.
won.
Right, yeah, it was 4.
You talked about this last week. It was FlyQuest that bought them.
Yeah, and so FlyQuest bought that spot.
That was in your fun facts. Where are they now for Cloud9?
Yeah.
So now all these people are going to be in a new team.
Yeah, well, and so, like...
I hope.
Yeah, well, and so we're seeing this, like, Cloud9 Academy, these are 5 players who could start for different teams. Mm-hmm. Or if you're really bad, just buy all 5 of them. But, I mean, obviously...
They work together well as a team. They've been playing as a team.
Right. If I'm Cloud9, I'm not selling them all. Mm-hmm. I want to keep Blabber and probably Golden Glue as well. I think with top and bot, you feel pretty locked in. Then again, like, Kumo looks so good, and you see some of the Korean teams play, like, 2 different top laners. So, and Cloud9's actually done that before. They had Impact and... Oh, man, I can't remember his name. It was their sword was Impact... Or the shield was Impact, and sword was the other guy. They had 2 Korean top laners. And so, like... Impact's very defensive and like can absorb a lot of pressure, and the other guy was aggressive and played like Jarvan top and things like that. So I think Ray, thank you. It was Ray. It was Impact and Ray. So anyway, I wonder though. I mean, first of all, what teams do you think would and should try to buy some of these players from Cloud9? And I guess 3 things I should say. So there's that. What teams could and should try to buy some of these players, which ones? Secondly, is it better that we have this environment, the franchise environment, where like players who are getting developed can get either brought into that main team or then sold off, whatever, or would it still be better to have relegations promotions, where new teams can just, like, if those 5 players were all on a team, they could just get in? And then number 3, something that if you watch like European soccer you're familiar with, is loaning players. Rather than selling players within the LCS, should Cloud9 try and get a loan contract signed with like a bad European team? It's like Excel Esports, who was like last, them and Rogue were like the bottom 2 in the LEC this split. Should Cloud9 be like, hey, pay us this much and you get that player for the split, and then their contract like reverts to us at the end, or we can negotiate, you buying them or something. Like, So 3 things I know. But
it's only going to work with this team because they have the, academy. that works.
Everybody has academy teams. All 10 of these teams, all 10 LCS teams have academy teams. No, they're not.
I mean, no one's going to pay for, some rando, because I don't know the names of the academy people. I really don't. There's only a few.
Yeah.
Now. And, it would basically just be C9 renting their people out, and that's it.
Right. Well, and I think doing something like that, like if loans were to start to happen, it would influence these other teams to put some more fucking effort into it. Because if they're like, oh, we can make money off of that? Well, shit, why didn't you say so?
So what are the rules in place for, relegation, where you can play in?
Because there aren't now.
I know.
Oh, what it was,
because you were asking, which should they do?
Yeah, so the last format of it was, I believe it was 2 teams. So 9th and 10th place. So 9th place picked if they wanted to play the first place or the second place team.
I understand that part.
Okay.
I want to get to the after the fact. They've won. They're in.
Yeah.
What are the rules after that? Because the team could be like, okay, I've got this spot now. I'm just going to ditch all the players and sign 5 new guys.
Yeah.
And then it's like the org just won their way in.
And that has sort of happened.
Okay.
Yes.
That's why that seems like a terrible idea.
Well, so what that comes down to, one, it was when the league was younger, people signed worse contracts and stuff. But there were times where the players owned the team they were playing on, like Cloud9. They tried as Quantic and failed. And that was just Quantic was a sponsorship, but it was High's team. High owned it basically. And so, but yeah, we've seen where a team makes it in and then they ditch players because they're like, oh, let's buy these other LCS players. It's like, and I've stopped and then those teams have failed, but you stop and you're like, so those were good enough to beat the other teams to make it in. But you don't think they're good enough to, get better than 9th or 10th? You're stupid, obviously. And then, those teams flounder because they're like, oh, well, these are big names. Let's play. It's and they fail. So, no, I agree. I think that's a problem people often overlook when they're like, relegations were more exciting and stuff. It's like, unless the team ditches those players.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, the first thing that came to mind. I was like, that seems like a pretty garbage way of doing things.
That would be terrible.
What was the other one?
So number 2 is, that was number 2. Number 1 was what team? Well, actually, we'll go to the what teams if anything other. But the thing was loans. Should Cloud9 try and
skip to that one,
rather than selling them to other NA teams, try and do a loan thing or sell them to? I think selling them to EU teams would be harder just because players might not necessarily want to move to Europe. But and Halder says and I know it's a bit tongue in cheek. EU is not going to get any players. NA is the only team that doesn't export. But if I'm one of those bad EU teams, and I'm sure it's a stigma thing. It's NA players aren't as good as EU or whatever. Blah blah blah. But Cloud9 has proven over and over they have really good players and they farm them very well. And if I'm the bottom of EU, I have to have my head really, really far up my ass to think that my players are better than that.
Yeah, I think the difference is going to be, it's going to be a lot harder for that person to go learn, one of those foreign languages or to force the other 4 people that you have to deal with over there to speak English.
Most of those teams speak English in their comms constantly.
Do they?
Most European countries, kids learn English in school.
Okay.
Just because it's the standard language of business. Banking is German, but general business, you just speak in English, usually.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, most European people you meet who are, under the age of 40 speak English as well as their native tongue.
Okay, I'm a dumb American. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, no, I wish I was bilingual, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Dumb American as well.
Yep.
But no, because, if you ever watch, an LEC broadcast, all of their interviews are in English, and all of that, there's no players who don't take interviews. They can all speak English, and then if you ever hear their comms, they're all in English too. Because even if your team is made up of people from all different companies, or countries, say, oh, I've got some Belgians, I have some Danes, I have a French person, I have a Spaniard. Well, which one of those languages do you pick? Well, we all speak English. Okay, well, let's speak English then. And that's kind of So I think an American player going over there would be just fine. You know, like accents might bother them for a little bit, but they'd be okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think
that seems hard to do as well. I mean, it would probably work better if like other regions were doing that and they would loan them their people to us.
Yeah.
But I think
right. We're just buying, but it's also because our region pays everyone more, so we just buy them straight up. I don't know. I guess part of the reason I say the loan thing too is because if there's still that stigma, which there is, that NA players aren't as good. Well, it's like, okay, fine. Don't buy their contract straight up for, they won't sign with you for a split. Do a loan with Cloud9 saying, okay, we're going to get Diamond from you for one split. We're going to pay, this percentage of his contract or whatever kind of thing. Maybe not even his whole contract. So it's like, oh, Cloud9, we're just paying him less kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It would just kind of depend on what they can negotiate. But either way, it's like, okay, it's just for this split, and if it doesn't work out, great. You're not stuck with him and have to get him on some other team. And if you really like him, now you've gotten to test drive it. You've been like, oh shit, this kid's good. I want him to be our support for all of 2020.
Yeah,
I don't think people will do it.
You're kind of seeing like some boot camping happening, like sending them over to different parts of the world to kind of play better, I guess.
Right.
And then bring back trade secrets too.
And do you think that like, if any of the people wanted them, like that the U.S. teams would actually let them go? Be like, eh.
Yeah, I mean that would all be. It'd have to be the contract you to begin with.
That's true.
Where it would say, hey, like. You could do one that's just a loan and there's nothing to it. Because this is professional soccer does this constantly.
Sure.
And then it'll be like, oh, they're on loan from Bayern Munich for this season. Or, these couple months, like the playoffs or something. Like the push up to the playoffs and the playoffs. Because you're like, oh, we're going to make playoffs if we do well. But if we don't get a star player, we're fucked. And so like people get somebody who's like a star, but some like prodigy's playing in front of them right now kind of thing. But anyway, like get this player and then you write it up in the contract too that... If we like them, we will. We have first dibs on negotiating a contract, where we buy them. So like nobody else can buy them from you before we get to.
Sure, but what if you just say no, wait required amount of time, and then sell him? Like,
I mean, you could do that, but that's how contracts work.
Yeah, it seems like
nothing,
an easy way to
How is that any worse than not getting the opportunity to begin with, though? It's not.
Yeah.
You made a good point that I liked. You get to see him on stage. Like, you would get to see more of Keith on stage.
Well, not only just getting to see him, but seeing him with your team. Like, yeah. Because you could be like, oh, this player looks great. And then you put him on your team and you're like, oh, this does not work at all. Like, that happens.
True. You might only have the synergy with these four other people.
It's like Crown's a very good mid, but with the Optic team that's around him, it doesn't seem to be so great.
Yeah.
Like, not that he isn't great, but it doesn't make the team better overall. Or not a lot better.
I don't know why he has so many...
Alright, to kind of wheel it back into a little bit more, like, league-focused stuff, since I kind of, like, helped that go way off.
Yeah.
Off.
So, okay, well, to get to the more likely scenario, what teams should try and buy what players from Cloud9 Academy? Because let's be honest, if none of these 5 players are on another team, like, next split... Teams are fucking failing.
I bet you C9 just brought him out to show off too. They're like, let's just put him on stage for one game.
I'm sure a little bit, yeah.
Especially because it was against
if you're locked
Clutch.
in and you don't have anything to lose, like that's the perfect time to screw off.
Yeah, I mean, you get them experience so that in case you want to use them yourself, they have stage experience. And if you're like, well, we're not going to use them. Hey guys, look at the shiny diamonds we have. Would you like some?
And one of them's actually
actually named Diamond. Yes.
I hope they go if they get picked up and to put on a main team. That they go together, just so I could see if they really do have.
All 5 definitely won't go. Like nobody's gonna buy the team.
Just Keith and Diamond.
I could see somebody buying the bot lane. I think that's a good idea.
I think that 100 Thieves and Clutch are probably most likely.
And who would they get?
I think that 100 Thieves support that they have on the bench isn't good either. So I don't know. Do you really want to get rid of Moo? Probably not, but he's been kind of the anchor, so maybe, I don't know, it would be really bad to buy someone like Diamond or something and then ship him down to replace Moo and then not actually replace Moo because 100 Thieves is going to be 100 Thieves.
Yeah. I would expect the buyout price is going to be way too high for anybody to do that. Cloud9 is not selling these guys for chump change, and because Jack as an owner generally has all the best interest of these guys in mind, so I'm assuming he would not sell them unless their contract stipulates they'll be starting as well.
Okay. Well,
or he would advise
nice.
he would advise the players, you can sign with them, make sure they put that in that I get to start half the split or something like that, or something.
That's cool that they can add that into the contracts, though.
You can put whatever you want. It's whether or not you have the leverage for them to agree to it, of course.
The teams that make sense are
Spoo's here, everyone fails.
100 Thieves, Clutch, and maybe Fox. Like, I know Fox just kind of hit their groove.
Optic should try and buy Kumo.
Okay.
Who's their top lane right now?
Dokla.
Yes! That's exactly what they should do.
Think about how much better that team would be. Kumo, Meteos/Dardoch, and we've mostly been seeing Meteos because he's been playing so well. Crown. Mm-hmm. And can they buy Diamond as well? Get rid of Big?
But who's their...
Arrow.
You know what?
Arrow's fine.
What if they switch Dardoch to AD carry?
All three.
Switch Dardoch to AD carry?
Yeah.
I don't think Dardoch needs to...
top.
No,
they've got Cody's son.
I've said they should move Dardoch to top. I have said that recently.
Oh, top.
CG.
Yeah, okay, so buy Diamond, move Dardoch to top. So it's Dardoch, Meteos, Crown, Arrow, Diamond.
Yeah, I like this.
That'd be a way better team.
Well, the previous support wasn't that bad, right?
Big supposedly not that bad, but I feel like he's not actually that good.
Who's their academy that they were running?
Oh, Gate. No, yeah, that's right. You're right. I think they should play Gate and Arrow. You're right. So yeah, just get rid of Dokla. Buy Kumo. I think Kumo's super good too. I think if he was on any other team, he would be starting. It's just that he's behind Licorice.
Yeah.
It's hard when you got Licorice as
I shouldn't say any other team because I don't think Clutch is willing to bench Huni no matter how bad he does, kind of thing.
He's
he's an Afro move situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is.
But yeah,
I'm glad I bailed on that Huni train a long time ago.
You told me, man.
And it's funny, as much as Cloud9 stomped that game, Kumo's the one person who wasn't playing super impressive.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't know.
So he was playing Gangplank into Huni's Lucian, and Lucian into Gangplank is a counter that Huni invented, and he's very good at it. We saw Licorice try to play it into Huni's Gangplank last year, and it did not go well. He got shit rolled. But the funny thing, it came up this week because it was played, people were, Reaper was streaming afterwards and talking about the game and stuff, and people in the chat were like, oh man, he played it into it, whatever. And Reaper pauses the video, he laughs, he's like, how do you think he knows that matchup? When Licorice, you remember Licorice played the Lucian into Gangplank last year? Who do you think the Gangplank was he was practicing with? So Kumo's played as that Gangplank dozens of matches against Licorice. And granted, Licorice's Lucian isn't as good as Huni's is in that matchup, but he knows the matchup. Mm-hmm. And so, as GP in that matchup, your goal is to really only ever fall 20 or so CS behind. He got down about 30 or so, but he was always even in gold. He was down 200 gold at most. It's well, shit, you should be getting destroyed. He wasn't giving up kills. He wasn't losing his turret. He was just I'm fine. And then if the Lucian doesn't get ahead, a Lucian's worthless in the mid game.
That's true. So I don't remember Kumu being the spotlight of that game.
No, the spotlight was
he was
Keith
just quietly
being 4-0-2 in the bot lane on Jinx at 10 minutes.
Yeah, 401, right?
401. Yeah, it was. Oh, he got so gross fed. Ridiculous. So gross fed.
Kumu did a good job at just fending off Huni, basically.
Yeah. No,
so the rest of his team could prosper.
Keith was so big in the bot lane, he was basically Spoo's mom. There you go, Jeff. But I don't know. I think a handful of teams should buy, and while your immediate thought is, oh, these bottom of the barrel teams should buy, I really think those middle teams should be looking long and hard. CLG and Optic, they should be looking really hard and say, hey, can we put Kumo in instead of Dokla? That'd be great.
Yeah.
What would CLG take?
CLG.
I was kind of thinking about that for Golden Guardians as well, but then I was like, who do you get rid of? Their team isn't great, but it's not terrible, and
100 Thieves should buy Golden Glue, maybe. I don't know.
I like Saliga though.
But yeah, I don't think Golden Guardians needs to replace anybody on the team.
No, that's what I was saying. I was just
I was agreeing with you. because they've just been improving.
Exactly, yeah.
Had Haunter been Haunter of last year, then yeah, maybe. But he's actually playing really well right now.
Yeah, hopefully, like, I mean, I don't think he's as much of a star as he had been in the past, but, like you said, he definitely performed a lot better this split than he did last, so.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on from that Cloud9 Academy. And something we're kind of already talking about. So the 4 teams who missed, CLG, Optic, Clutch, 100 Thieves, obviously they need to fix things heading into next split. Now, if that's just being better as a team, playing better, getting more practice in strategies, whatever, that's fine. But what fixes do you think any of these teams have, like, specific? If there's specific fixes you have in mind, go ahead.
Mine's very specific.
Yeah.
Dardoch, don't play Darshan, please don't play Nico ever again. Just go back to your tanks and win that way, because it works for you, man.
His bruiser split pushers are so good.
So that's, like, very specific, but I think that's going to make or break CLG next season. Next split.
I agree. I think if he plays, like, Jax instead of Nico in that last
Jax
game...
would be good, yeah. Just Nico's not...
Jax is what he's fucking known for. He's known for bruisery split pushers. Like, even if you want to go squish your, like, Fiora or something, she has some survivability there. Nico really, really doesn't. She has a CC and, like, run the fuck away.
But her ult's kind of hard to hit sometimes when you're at this level of pro play. Like, it's not bronze where you just run in and be like, you're dead.
And
they run away from you.
As a non-AP Nico, it's not actually a very good ult, also.
Not even doing that much
like,
damage.
when you're doing on-hit to split push, her ult's kind of... It's half-wasted. Right? It's a knock-up.
Okay, alright.
So... But yeah, Jax, Fiora, Aurelia, absolutely. I'm with you guys on that. Like... Yeah, Darshan, Jax, I mean, Zion Spartan Jax was like the thing of legends when he was playing that back in the day. And he played it well even this split.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like he's somebody who's good enough to, like, even make something like Alawi work in pro play.
Yeah, maybe. She gets real tanky. She gets
annoying. Oh, she gets stupid tanky. And, like,
and still does damage.
I think he's good enough to play it, but...
I don't know about the other teams, but y'all can talk about that.
But yeah, no, I'm with you on CLG. Like, I saw online on Reddit, like, everybody like, gotta get rid of Darshan, blah blah. I'm like, he's not.
I think he's
the
decent.
pick was bad.
Yes.
I don't think he's bad.
I agree.
Like, there's worse top laners, Huni, right now in the LCS.
Huni's like 8, 9, 10 right now. He is like for real
positions.
Bottom of the barrel.
He's all three.
Yeah, I have Dokla as the only person worse than him in my ranking right now.
Yeah.
Like, I was... Because last season, at least, last split, because the first split he was pretty good, but summer split last year, we were like, oh man, we're seeing a lot of good and bad Huni. This split, did we see good Huni?
Only like,
more than, like
once on Rumble.
It's really hard to say that he had any good games when they lost this many.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, having 5 bouts of brilliance the entire split is not great. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think Huni is like washed up at this point. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, Optic I think need to get rid of Dokla.
Yes, that too.
Or Big.
I think it's time for Huni to retire, honestly. Like, I don't think he's going to be going... Like, no one's going to give him probably what he thinks he deserves.
Yeah, I say Piglet's the more pressing issue on Clutch. I think either he... And I don't even care. Even if it's like, oh, he's like, I want to do mid. Unless you can prove to me he's better than Dokla, I don't think he should be starting mid.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Demonte, thank you.
It's only because...
Yeah,
you know, one's good, one's trash.
Right? Yeah,
it's not...
like, Demonte was the most promising new mid laner recently. And you benched him for mid-lit?
I think that's so mean, too.
Fuck that.
You take your ADC and swap out, like that... I'm sorry, Demonte. If you ever watch this, man, I feel for you. That sucks.
Duct Tape bringing... he had mentioned Zion Spartan, Darshan, back on Team Coast... Jax was banned every game. Like, even if it wasn't meta, it was just like, you can't let Darshan have it, which was true. And then I was like, oh, I miss those days. Man Cloud, who was their mid lane, he would play AP Nidalee and just, like, chunk bitches with spears all day.
I'm so glad.
And he's like, oh, speaking of Team Coast, their AD carry was Wiz Fusion, now known as Apollo. Like, that team had some fucking players on it. That was a whole, like, relegation promotion era thing, too. They ended up so bad they got relegated. But some of the players are still around. Like, yeah. I don't know. I think 100 Thieves. I think I liked that they finally went and like swapped out some players. I don't like that they went ahead and like swapped everybody out. So it's like, well, that doesn't tell us anything.
Yeah, I think that they were like, hey guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get you guys some stage experience. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then like they probably didn't know until the day before. They're like, okay.
I thought the bot lane looked slightly better. I mean, once again, it's hard to tell because everybody else was swapped out. Like, I think Saligo's been looking better than Huhi in the mid lane.
Definitely.
Okay, so now let's make one more change. Like, why the hell would you take out Someday? Someday hasn't been bad right now. That, because, fuck, who is it that was playing in the top lane for
Fake
them?
God.
Yeah, Fake God, and like,
Froggus
there were several times I saw
Fragus.
Fragus in the mid, yeah.
No, Fragus was the jungle, I thought.
Or, I'm sorry, Jungle.
Jungle,
Yeah, I misspoke entirely. Yeah, he looked fine. The top lane, like, Fake God, I didn't see anything that impressed me out of him. Like, when he was on that Akali, there were several times where there was, like, a whole bunch of low people, but he had already, like, burned his ult. It's like, well, if you had that, you could pick up a triple kill.
Yeah,
You get 2 dashes on his ult.
The Akali was probably my least favorite thing of the entire weekend. I was just like, it looked bad everywhere.
Yeah.
Did he play it twice? What did he play the second day?
There was a couple of Akallis that showed up. I don't know if it was I think TSM played it.
The second.
Yeah,
No,
Fake God
yeah.
played Jax on day 2, and that didn't work out either.
TSM played it on day 1, and won with it, but...
I definitely wrote something wrong. I got Vayne twice here.
You messed up one.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
All right, so those teams, we all feel like their issues are vague. Vague, but fairly... Like, they're not huge issues unless you're 100 Thieves, but 100 Thieves doesn't seem like they're working to fix it in a reasonable fashion. Like, they're like, oh, we're broken? Well, we took 9 weeks to admit it to ourselves. Change everything!
Yeah, well, I think that they did that in, like... I think that they thought that Cloud9's Academy team was going to come out and play like garbage. And so they're like, okay, let's just do the same thing. And, like, it didn't quite work for
They
them.
did it before Cloud9 did, though.
Oh yeah,
Because they did it both days.
Then maybe Cloud9 was memeing on them.
They memed the shit out of them, man.
They did so well.
Dude, like, I commented when they announced that, like, Cloud9 Academy was going to play, is that it reminds me of every fucking year when people are like, oh, Alabama, their college team, could beat the Browns or something. You know, like, the worst NFL team would lose to, like, the best college team. And it's always like, I don't think that's actually true, but in this scenario, it was. It was absolutely true. Oh, it was so bad. Let's move on from those teams, and let's actually talk about our quarterfinals.
Yeah.
First matchup is TSM, who got number 3, against Echo Fox, who squeaked in at number 6.
Is that on Saturday?
I don't know which day
I
which
think
is.
it's the other way around.
Yeah, I think it's
Golden Guardian.
it's most likely the other one
Yeah.
first. But
Okay.
let's talk about TSM versus Echo Fox, because I was just going top to bottom.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
So,
fucking
TSM Echo Fox, who you got?
TSM.
what do you think of this?
Definitely. TSM's really fucking good, yo. Like,
Echo Fox just beat Cloud9 and Liquid in back-to-back weeks, yo.
but they've only beat TSM once.
Yeah, and TSM's only beat them once.
Yes, but TSM has beat TL twice.
They did. But they didn't beat
So,
Cloud9 at all.
I know, that's true. That's
Echo Fox is
very
the
hard.
only
It's
team in the
definitely true.
league
It's
to
very-
beat both of the top 2 teams.
Yeah.
Only team in the league.
So that's... I have my money on TSM because I think they'll win. But it'll be a good matchup, I think. As long as Fox brings it. If Fox is sucky, then that's sucky Fox, and I don't like watching that. Because it's usually Rush just cataclysming into dying. So it's no point of watching that.
Even though Fox looked really good these last 2 weeks, I'm still gonna go with TSM.
How hard do you guys say it? Because this is best of 5, so what would you like? What's your guess?
Maybe,
I'm gonna guess
3-1?
TSM's gonna 3-0 them.
Or
Like,
3-0.
3-0.
Like
3-1 or 3-0.
I was gonna say like my backup is 3-1.
My backup is 3. My pick is TSM. My backup is Fox. I agree. I think TSM will win this. I think it's likely to be a 3-1, maybe a 3-2, but I think 3-1 TSM, honestly, because, like, Echo Fox, it's not just 1 week they look good. It was 2 weeks.
It is
And during those 2
true.
weeks, they did beat the top teams, and the lower teams, 100 Thieves and CLG, they slaughtered. Like, those weren't close games. They were just like, okay, yeah, let's dumpster these schools. And
We're done here.
TSM has gone on an insane run, though. They've
That's
lost
what I'm thinking.
1 game out of 12. That's
So it ended up
stupid.
being on Sunday.
The only game they've lost in the back half of the split was to Cloud9.
That's why I think they're going to win. I just think they have a better team, and aside from that 3 losses in a row, which happened on 2 weekends combined.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a numbers game here, so like it is a best of 5. Like Fox, even though they've looked good like 2 weeks in a row, they looked really bad 3 weeks in a row. So
But 2 of those weeks they were playing with Panda.
That's true.
Both weeks? 2 weeks?
Panda played 4 games.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Beer me.
This one's interesting.
No, leave that one for later. That one's good.
Why? You
That
like that
one's
one?
good. Well, your other option is another IPA.
That's fine.
Or whatever this is. A wheat beer.
I think it's that one, yeah.
On the side, are they the same one?
I was like, actually, I should have 3 beers left in there.
There's one in the fridge.
Oh, you put one in the fridge.
Oh,
Gotcha.
wait, no.
There's Hell or High Water. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's what that is, yeah.
No, the Hell or High Water should be yours. But anyway.
Yes.
Anyway.
So excited about beer.
So, yeah, I think TSM is a little bit better right now. And I attribute most of that actually to, I think Sven overall has been very consistent this split. And while I think Apollo and Hakuho are looking great right now, I think Sven will be slightly better. And then Rush, while he's looking really good right now, Acadian has looked very good all split.
Except for one thing, which I'll let slide. I won't even bring it up. I won't say anything else.
No, you brought it up. Now I have to know.
Yeah, I got
I'm
to
not
us.
getting the rift.
What?
Oh, forgetting the token.
Oh, yeah, when he let the rift.
They
That's the only
Dardock did
thing.
that once last year.
Well, TSM, isn't it TSM twice who didn't get it? Like, once they were, like, zoned off of
So
it?
once they were
And
zoned off,
once they forgot
he
it.
was,
Yeah, they
he was
straight
back
forgot
right
it.
next to it. He was like, fuck it.
Oh, that was...
Wait, that happened twice?
They're not
This split,
undefeated
or-
with Rush.
He got
still.
so they were like fighting it. Acadian gets the kill on it.
They're
but he
undefeated since
dies,
Rush came back.
And then the other team just zoned them off from picking it up.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
okay.
one time Acadian backed next to it.
Yeah.
And just didn't get it.
So...
That's the one I'm talking
Alright,
about.
so we all have TSM. Nobody's guessing the 3-2. I think it's closer than you two think, I believe. But let's move on then to FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. And that's our number 4 versus number 5 matchup. Now, Golden Guardians beat FlyQuest on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. But
And then-
Santorin was
and
sick.
That put them in a tiebreaker, and they played again, and Maxi came in. And we've talked about that a little bit already. But who do you guys have in a best of 5 between these two? Because I think it's going to be a damn close series.
It'll be fun to watch, definitely. I think FlyQuest has it though. If Santorin's not sick and not dying and he's very healthy.
I mean, even if he is, Maxi played super
Yeah,
well.
that's true. But I'm sure Santorin.
Like, there's
wants to
some
be there
rookie
for that.
mistakes, but he didn't do anything.
He didn't
overly
he didn't
stupid.
win, Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pushing. Oh, sorry.
Well,
No,
you
go
say
ahead.
FlyQuest, but what way? 3-2, 3-1.
I think 3-2.
3-2.
I think 3-2.
I'm pushing for Golden Guardians. I'm hoping it's gonna be 3-1, but I'm leaning into the 3-2. Like,
Yeah.
FlyQuest has looked really good. They just lost to them yesterday, so like hopefully that's still gonna be like on their spirits next weekend and like go into it like knowing like you kind of have like the not the upper hand because Golden Guardians get better, or no FlyQuest gets better
Side selection, correct.
Yeah. Never mind. I don't know. I think it's gonna be close, but I'm gonna lean into Golden Guardians.
Like
I would too if I were you.
my initial, like my gut reaction is to say 3-2 Golden Guardians. And then when I like look down the lanes, I'm like, all right, we've got top lane, Hanser versus Viper. I'm like, actually, like Viper's been good at times, but I think Hanser's in better form at the moment. Then I go at Contracts and Santorin. I'm like, I think Santorin's better than Contracts right now. Contracts isn't consistent enough, and Santorin seems to lead the team around very well. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, which is Contracts' downfall. He makes quite a few mistakes, gets overly aggressive. Then I go to mid lane, and Poe Belcher and Froggen. I'm like, well, I lean a bit into Froggen there, just a bit, just because I feel like he's been more on form recently. While Poe Belcher's had some great plays, he hasn't been carrying that team. And then I get to the bot lane, and Deathly's very good, and JJ's all right, but I'm sorry, Ole, Deathly and Ole, like They're both good.
Yeah.
But I have Wild Turtle, who's been going off this season. I think Wild Turtle has been very quietly having one of his best seasons. Like, since his first, 2 seasons with TSM, he hasn't looked this good. Minus the bowl cut he was sporting this week, which looks awful.
I'm sorry.
Awful.
It's bad. If anybody told you it was good, Turtle, I'm here to be honest. We like the fluff. We don't know why you changed it. If you lost a bet, that was one hell of a bet.
Yeah, you poor bastard. If you guys didn't see Wild Turtle's bowl cut, go check it out. It's atrocious.
It's really, really bad.
It's
and
a
sad.
I mean, what if
Kobe
his mom
said
was
he
just,
liked
cute,
it. I feel like Kobe just
Kobe's
hates
just
people.
nice.
Yeah, Kobe's
just nice.
Kobe's like his mom is like, oh, I think you're beautiful, honey.
Yeah, no
It's like,
matter
no.
And he's also like, he wants people to be happy. Me, I want to tell you the truth so you can fix it.
Can't be worse than Bjergsen's beard. No, it is. Like, Bjergsen's beard, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's okay-ish.
Is
the
it just
bowl
because
cut
he
is
pulls
bad.
it off better than you do?
No.
Because he pulls it off better than I do.
Doesn't pull it off better than either of us do. Bjergsen's beard?
Beardson?
He's alright.
I think
It's weird
Y'all
and
are men,
scraggly.
and you're not like even remotely gay as far as I know, so you can't make a judgment call on this.
Bitch, please.
we both have beards. I think we're...
Bjergsen's beard isn't that good.
You might have to
honestly.
pull it up for me if you can.
It's kind of scraggly ass.
Is it?
Like in the beginning
I
season
don't
was
pay
better, but it's
attention
gotten
to him
longer
when
and
he's
it's kind of
playing. I really
fucked.
Oh, maybe that's what...
Like Zazel's is too long, but
Yeah. See, I don't like it when they get real long. I just like
Zazel needs to trim that shit up and it'd be fucking. Mwah. But
Okay, I take back that comment. They are full on.
you know, Duct has a great point. Kobe also said being handcuffed to Freak wasn't that bad, so take that as you will.
I remember that.
I mean, it could be that being handcuffed to Freak just changed Kobe inextricably forever.
All right.
That was
fair,
earlier in the
fair.
season
No,
even,
he
wasn't
makes
it?
you
Or
made
is
your
that
point
new?
in that one picture.
But yeah, it's just kind of scraggly at.
It's long. Like if maybe
Yeah.
if it was.
And he's got a good face. Like,
That post is from
Okay, so now
this month.
is it? Oh, this month.
It's a couple weeks old.
Okay.
2 weeks old, but.
I was
Alright,
like,
so
he was
now
looking
let's
scraggler
perform
after a
without
game
beard.
anyway.
This was from March 10th. Like,
Wait, you want one without a beard?
Yeah.
Just put Bjergsen 2018. You'll find it immediately. Well, because he just grew it this year.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look
But
at
yeah,
that
like,
when we're talking about this.
so anyway, you can't find the pic of Wild Turtle bowl cut. I've got it in Discord.
Yeah.
I'll put it up afterwards. It's so ridiculous.
That's him without a beard?
Yeah.
He's a pretty
Why?
boy, ain't he?
Why did you grow the beard? Like, don't get me wrong, like,
Because
kinda
he's
like
baby
that.
faced a little bit.
Go down one more. Is that him right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, when it was
that's
shorter, it was good.
the media. Yeah, that's what he should.
No,
do all the time.
he went
That's good.
past like hipster to I have a
Homeless.
manifesto I should show you. Like he's getting towards Ted Kaczynski crazy man territory
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
But yeah, like what reaction?
I don't.
Oh, we're
remember
talking
the-
about FlyQuest Golden Guardians.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got to the bot lane though. And I think Wild Turtle's been very, very good this
Okay,
season.
but I don't think JJ. Well, maybe you know what? JJ and Ole are actually probably about the same skill level in my opinion. If I actually look at it.
JJ's having a good season, I think.
But he started out bad in my opinion because I feel like
Yeah.
I was like JJ made a lot of mistakes in
Right.
his first 2 weeks. I remember saying shit like
Yeah,
that.
but
Talking about
after
JJ or
watching
core JJ.
no,
Regular
JJ.
Okay.
JAYJ.
Okay.
But Ole those first few weeks did too, and
Right.
then they started.
Yeah,
turning
they
around.
both had kind of rough seasons,
Yes.
so they've been very middling. I think overall, though, I've liked what Wild Turtle has brought to the team
Yeah.
more than what Deathly has.
I do agree.
So, like, while I said my initial gut reaction is to say Golden Guardians 3-2, and I hope that's what happens,
Really?
I think
You
my
hope that's what
bet
happens?
is going to be 3-2 FlyQuest. Like, I mean, we'll see when it comes Friday, Friday, like, what I end up picking.
Yeah.
But my initial thought right now is that I'm going to put my money 3-2 FlyQuest.
That's what I'm doing. My money.
And that money is on Wild Turtle and his awful, awful bowl cut.
I will say that whoever wins, I'm gonna be happy for him because I want both teams to succeed, and I like both teams. So.
Yeah. Oh
I know
man.
you're just straight going for it.
All right. So we've talked about the quarterfinals. We talked about the week 9, and talked about teams that need to change stuff in the midseason. Let's talk about the split rewards. like the MVP, all that shit. Oh, you have the bowl cut. Oh,
it's in the Discord. Join the Yeti Discord.
yeah. Okay.
Discord.YetiGamer.com.
Like you just found where it was, or did you repost them?
I haven't reposted them.
Okay.
They're just
the ones I put in.
Yeah,
They're
you can
so
type
bad.
in bowl cut and you'll get to the picture.
Yeah,
so.
go to the YetiGamer Discord. It's in the league chat.
These
Search
split
it.
rewards.
Yes.
What are they?
The regular season split. So weeks 1 through 9.
Yeah.
Reward
or award?
Reward.
No, they're
yeah,
different.
award would be the word. Correct.
Okay. Sorry,
I just typed it wrong.
I was like,
yeah.
what the fuck is a reward?
I was doing other shit
I
at the same time.
You were the one making this shit, and I was the one dicking around watching Game of
So let's go with
Thrones,
the easy one, because there's literally only 3 candidates. Rookie of the split.
Yes.
Is Viper, Vulcan, and... Wiggly. Yeah, Wiggly.
Which I love your name, but I can't pick him.
I really like Wiggly. I think his team's too bad for him to get... That was another thing I saw like in Reddit. People be like, CLG's got to get rid of Darshan and Wiggly. I'm like, bitch, did you even watch Wiggly? Like, he wasn't the reason... Like, when they subbed in that other jungler, Moon, they did worse. Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't think Moon's terrible, but Wiggly's definitely better than Moon. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, he's not Lyra. Would you rather have Lyra? Go to hell. Like, Wiggly's fine.
Lyra can snipe a dragon.
And then lose the game anyway.
Lose the game anyways, yes, you're right.
Like, Wiggly, for a rookie, is a pretty good jungler, I think.
I looked at this... I actually looked at the website that you sent, though, and I think I underlined Viper because I think he probably... will get it because he's had more wins and stuff.
You can't say the bowl cut is bad. No, it's terrible.
Who said
Turtle went from like looking like a stylish, attractive dude to like just random nerdy Asian kid.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like that's the problem is you look at me like, oh, that kid lives in his parents' basement, doesn't he?
Boy band to honor roll student.
Yeah.
Real quick.
he went from K-pop to I'm trying to get into Yale.
It looks real bad. I like the wavy hair much better.
I mean,
I really hope that he lost a bet, because otherwise, he made poor life choices.
If the bet was this haircut will look good, he definitely lost it.
Okay. Rookie.
So, yeah.
It can't be Broken Blade. That's who I was looking at.
Broken Blade is one people have been mentioned throughout the year, but he played a full season as a starter in the TCL, the Turkish league.
Which I learned.
So I'm I think Europe one time didn't count that against some player, but it's been like brought up in stream chat before, and I think one of the Riot employees said like, no, he does not count as a rookie of the split contender. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, not Broken Blade, which I don't know, like he's been good at times anyway, but I don't know that I would have necessarily picked him for sure.
Well, I remember times where I saw like, holy shit, Viper's crazy right now. I've not said that.
Those like 2 games on Riven?
Yeah. And then I haven't said that ever about Wiggly, other than like I like Wiggly.
So you're picking Viper.
I'm picking Viper.
I'm gonna lean into Viper as well.
Right. Well, I think Vulcan's been very good. I think he's been pulled down by the fact that it's Piglet on his in his lane, so I can't really tell how good he is, unfortunately. So I have to go Viper as well.
I shit on Vulcan, but I probably shouldn't as much as I do.
This will be the second time I think in 4 splits that Cloud9 didn't win this award.
Yeah.
Because they won it with Zazel last split, Licorice the split before that, and then I think they had somebody in one of the 2 splits prior to that too. Oh, Alan joined in. Nice.
Why are you leaning into Viper? I don't know if you're done talking about it.
No, that was all I got. Because he was the least terrible of the options given.
Alright, so coach of the split.
Ooh.
I'm going to give it up to my boys.
Who's their coach?
Inero?
Yeah, Inero.
Yeah.
I was like, you know your voice. I'm like, I hope you actually know who it is.
I made sure to write this shit down because I'm not that, knowledgeable about him.
I had to make sure I double checked who all the coaches were too. Yeah.
So I think Reaper has it. Like, has he been official yet?
Reaper's won several of them before.
Okay, so I know that I googled it and Reaper came up. So I don't know if he's officially got it for this.
No, these haven't been handed out.
Okay, so I know that Reaper's definitely
because it's a regular season, so Week 9 had to complete.
Yeah.
We won't hear the rewards until semifinals. I don't think.
Cool, interesting.
Or awards. God damn it, I did it again. But yeah, so you're picking Reaper?
Well, I mean, that's probably who it might go to, but I wanted to give a shout out because I don't know any of this. I don't want to have to pick someone. Inero for like turning his team around and finding like good battle strategies. Fuck if I know. This ain't war, but for GG's to take. Tyler on Fox, who had to deal with what I think was like Rush kind of breaking down, having to replace him, and then him coming back feeling refreshed, like having to deal with that with a player. Mm-hmm. Very like kudos, because they came back with that 4-0 2 weeks just now, and that was crazy. But also Zix with TSM, because you just have a solid team, and you have been managing them really well. And I bet you he was like, Acadian, don't let that shit happen again. I'm not going to chew you out for it. But I'm sure he brought it up to him, and Acadian was like, sure, boss.
Yeah, I think that the easy thing for people to fall into a lot of the time is say, oh, well, Liquid, won, so, like, their coach is the best. But, like, you really have to consider, like...
That's what Spoo just said.
Yeah, well, that's kind of why I was commenting on, like... But I made a point to, like, look at, one, who do you have as players? Because if you don't have to fucking do much, like, did you do much? And if they made moves during the season, if the team visually improved, things like that. So, when I boiled it down, my final two were Inero, because Golden Guardians did improve so much as the season went on.
I bought a hat. I bought my jersey. Like,
like I think Inero had a lot to do with that. I mean, they made a couple roster changes between last season, which was 10th and now, and they also changed coaches. And even at the beginning of the season, they weren't doing that great. They started off 0-4, then they went 2-0, and then 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Like, they slowly have built up. They made playoffs. They won their way into a tiebreaker even. Like, they're looking better and better as the season goes, and it's because their team play is improving. So Inero was on my short list, along with another one that was mentioned in chat, and you mentioned as well, Zix. Zix coached CLG last year. I thought he waited way too long to make changes on that team, but he's with TSM this year, and I said heading into this season, like the first couple episodes, I wanted to say that I wanted to watch Zix and make sure he gave the junglers the chance to not just play tanks all day. And we're seeing Acadian play aggressive junglers at least half of the time. He's played Sejuani the most of any single jungler, but like tank-wise, he's played like her 4 times, and he's played like 1 or 2 other tanky ones, like a Gragas or something. And otherwise he's playing Nocturne, Jarvan. I think he even played Lee Sin once or twice. Like, he's playing good aggressive junglers, and he's playing it well, and that team looks better for it. And I'm really happy about that. When it came down to it, though, I did give it to Inero, personally, just because I think with TSM, I'm not entirely sure how much of that all was Zix doing, bringing that team together. I credit him with the picks, absolutely, but I think Inero has just shown so much improvement over and over with these players, and like I mentioned earlier, none of them are like superstars. I think that's even more impressive.
Who decides this?
Everyone. The players.
All the players, the coaches, the casters, like the crew, not all the way like down through the crew, but yeah, like all the analysts. Like,
are you for real? That's awesome.
There's a vote.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a ranked vote, so like they'll give their like 1, 2, 3, and that gives points, and then whoever has the most points wins.
Interesting. That's cool to know. I had no idea. So I could have ranked these.
You could have, yeah. Like, I mean, we obviously don't get a vote, but yeah,
I'm
like they will.
I don't have to vote.
So like,
I'm done with what I said.
Like Dash on the desk will vote, and he will give his top coach, his second coach, and third coach.
Sweet.
And they get points corresponding.
I don't want to decide anything anymore. I've been wrong so many times.
So we'll come back to MVP, because first we need to talk about like first, second, third team All Pro. So let's go. We'll start at the bottom of that, and we'll work our way up.
All right.
So third team All Pro top laner. Heather, who do you have?
So this is number 3.
This is
not Licorice.
No.
Number 1.
Who do you think was the third? Like, I mean, this is really subjective too, because like, while it's super easy to go, well, this team won, so obviously, like, it's so easy. And we saw. Oh, if you need a pen.
No, not the pen. That piece of paper. Those. I think.
Oh, it's got players. Yeah.
That's what
So, well, actually, I've got. That might be a better list for you to look at.
Yeah, that'll be so much easier. Thanks.
They're in a close, like, clumped order anyway. Because like Dokla and Huna have the bottom camping.
Yeah, that's going
so
you Viper real good. Wow.
Well, I adjusted after all these two. That was just like an initial throwing people in. Like as I remembered, I was like remembering their names and typing them in.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, like third best, and so when it comes to these teams, it's really subjective because it's like, well, oh, their team was really good, but does that mean they were very good? Their team was really bad. Does that mean they were bad? Like you can be someday on 100 Thieves and still be a very good player, but maybe you also didn't have a good season personally. Yeah. And it also, what does it mean to be the best? Are you going to win the 1v1 or do you play really well with the team? Like, so these are super subjective, can be changed a lot.
Well, so I feel like a lot of the times, like, at least the people that get it, like, the players, they treat each other as a lot more fair than, like, the shitlords on Reddit do.
Yeah.
So, like...
Except Hooney's vote for top laners last year, he put Licorice as, like, 5. Or, no, I guess you only get a top 3, and he didn't vote Licorice. It's like, you douchebag, you know he's better than you and you're mad about it.
For the most part,
yeah,
they vote a little bit more subjectively, and they don't take personal feelings into it.
Yeah, I think the player votes are usually really good reflections.
Yeah, you're playing them.
Which is why you don't see like Team Liquid versus Team 2 and 3.
Yeah, and like the Reddit vote, I was kind of like skating over. It's like, surprising. They have the top 3 in each role, or like, every single role basically top 3 is Liquid, Cloud9, and TSM. Like. I understand they won, guys. Like that doesn't mean their players are all the best.
Which is why I brought it up.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely.
Because just as a viewer, my factoring is did you cut your hair? Because if you fucking did.
Wild Turtle, you were number 2 on my list. You've dropped down to 4 with that gross piece of.
Well, that was kind of you to only drop into 4 with that bowl cut. 8.
So right. I mean, I'll try not to like vote with that, but at the same time, I'm not going to be very.
So who's your? I mean. Our 3 and 2 are going to be very rough cut. Our number 1s are going to be the one we're going to be better at. Yeah.
But 3rd, maybe Impact. And then 2nd, Broken Blade. 1st, Licorice.
All right, we'll just do 3-2, and then we'll go our ones. Because I'm guessing you actually wrote down your ones. Or you know them anyway.
Like, for the most part, I do.
Yeah, let's just do 3 and 2s quick. So you said
Impact and then Broken Blade.
Broken Blade. Okay.
I really like Broken Blade. So.
Chase, if you had to do your 3 and 2 for top laners, who would you do?
I'm going to give it to Hooney. I'm just kidding.
Write that down. He's locked in.
He would have given it to himself.
Right.
I would have given 3, and this one, I think this one would be controversial, but I think he's been very, very consistent, very underrated. Solo is my number 3.
Yeah.
I think Solo has consistently not fucked Echo Fox.
All right.
And on a team that's been very middle of the road, that's kind of impressive. And like, I can see a lot of argument to put, like, Someday, Broken Blade, Impact above him, for sure. I think that one's the hardest one for me, but I was giving on a different kind of merit there. Mm-hmm. I think his team play's been very good as well. My number 2, actually, Haunter. I think Haunter has had an impeccable season. Mm-hmm. Like, he had a few bad games, but overall, like, he's been a rock up there for them.
I was going to put Haunter as my number 3, thinking that, like, he has improved so much this year from last.
Yeah.
And, like, he's a quarter of the reason why Golden Guardians is actually doing well this year, and like how, like, I don't know. Yeah. So Haunter, I think he's my solid number 3 right now.
Okay.
And then I don't know. Hold on.
All right.
It's hard because there's so many players.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, and I think this one, we'll just go ahead and run this one because I think it's pretty obvious. Top number 1's got to be Licorice, right?
Yeah.
He's real good.
I don't think anyone has put up the season Licorice has.
I'm gonna move Haunter up to number 2, and I'm just gonna not care about 3.
Yeah.
I
think top was hard just because Licorice was so good.
Yeah.
And there were other players who had some good games and some bad games, and it's like, okay, well, how do you sort them?
Yeah.
Because I think, like, Darshan's really good.
But he's only had a couple of those.
Yeah, on certain champions.
Right.
And you can't, you have to factor in all of the champions.
All right, so Jungle.
Wiggly. I just like his name.
Jungle 3, 2, 1. I went ahead, I put Svenskeren as my number 3. And I put Xmithy as my number 2. Other people who are probably in the running for people are Santorin, Meteos, Dardoch, Rush. I don't think anybody else is really in the running for those top slots, personally. Now, let's see, what do we have from Haller here? 3rd team, he has Impact, Acadian, Crown, Turtle, Ole. 2nd team, he has Someday at 2nd. I mean, I don't think he played bad this season. Xmithy, he has Xmithy 2nd as well. Bjergsen, Sven, and Zazel. All right.
We're doing jungle now?
No. You guys haven't given... Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You're doing jungle. My bad. I was like, you haven't given me your... Oh,
probably
jungle. Yeah.
3rd Santorin.
I think that's a good vote. Yeah. I had him at 4, personally. I was like,
Who the fuck
Santorin.
is Because you have my...
Santorin, Svenskarens, Xmithie, Acadian, Meteos, Wiggly, Contract, Stardock, Rush.
I mean,
Honda.
the difference is that
and
our rankings are on here.
I should know it. I'm just fucking... Acadian. That's why it's not there.
I was going to do Contracts as my number 3.
That says Greg, but Acadian's been playing all season. Contracts is your 3. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was going to give Svenskarens second.
Okay.
And
don't worry about your first yet. We'll come around.
Okay.
Buck. Probably Xmithie second.
Okay.
Yeah, Santorin, Xmithie.
Santorin, Xmithie, that's good. Mid lane.
That one's hard, but I think I know who I want to pick.
Like, I want to put DeMonte in my 3rd spot, just because he wasn't the problem most of the time.
I ended up putting him quite a bit lower than I thought, so he wasn't in my 3.
Okay.
I put him in 3. Like, if that's your vote, go for it. That's fine. Like, because I didn't think Huhi or Saligo did enough to show they were good. Crown was okay. Power of Evil had some good games this season. DeMonte had some good games. Pobelter had some good games. Froggen had some good games. Jensen, Bjergsen, Phoenix, Niski are probably the big 4. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Froggen, Pobelter, DeMonte, Power of Evil, like, they all had some really good games. I think the only ones who probably aren't in anyone's top 3 consideration are Crown, Saligo, and Huhi.
Yeah. And even Saligo, like, if I had seen him for an entire split...
Maybe.
But then again, it's still 100 Thieves. So it's
right,
like,
yeah.
You know. 3rd, probably...
I put Bjergsen as my number 3.
That's what I was going to say. Bjergsen, and then Jensen, and then Niski.
I put Bjergsen. I put Phoenix as my number 2.
Yeah.
I think Phoenix had a really good split. Once again, like, him and Solo, I thought both put up, like, good play for that team when other things weren't going so hot.
Phoenix is a good choice. Like, I see how you...
And he had a few pop-off
But you probably
games,
take
too.
Jensen first. No? Wow. Okay.
I don't think Jensen had that great of a season, personally.
I can't remember the times where I was like, oh my god, Jensen.
I was actually going to give Froggen my number 2.
I think Froggen had some good... I mean, he had a couple pop-off games on Kurtis.
Like, I think he should probably be closer to 3, but I'm going to give him the old bump up, because I'm...
Like, if I can base
unbiased.
Power of Evil's entire, like, split on his Cassidon game, then I would take that.
Right. Alright, so bot laners. We've got ourselves Wild Turtle, Sven, Sneaky, Double Lift, Bang,
This one's hard.
Deftly, Apollo, Arrow, Stixay, Asta, and Piglet.
This one's so hard. I mean, Piglet obviously top
Last.
contender for number 1. Okay, so he played
Dead
Aurelia
fucking
as ADC and was like the best player, but it was only that one game.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2 where he did like Aurelia and it worked out, but that was it. And that's why I think he wants to play mid so much, so he can play Aurelia.
Maybe, fine, fucking just commit to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally had Wild Turtle as my number 3 with Sven as my number 2.
Okay.
I thought they both had really good seasons. Wild Turtle more, and they were both kind of like quietly had very good seasons. I think there's more focus on Sven for most of the season, and then Wild Turtle's gotten some good focus here towards the end. And then that terrible hair. But yeah, no, Wild Turtle, Sven is my 3, then 2.
I was going to do Sneaky as my 3. And I think I'll do Turtle as my 2.
Ooh, Sneaky out of top 3, always a hard sell. Yeah, it's funny because like as much as Sneaky's been more aggressive this season, I don't know, like there's something about it just didn't like hook me the way like I've watched his other like super consistent seasons. I feel, and
I feel like
it wasn't
fewer cosplays this split, so that has something to do.
There's
with
been
it.
Actually a lot recently. They just don't like blow up as much anymore because they're not like, you know, a once in a lifetime feeling sort of thing. It's not like, what, this just happened. It's like, oh yeah, he did another one. But
I always thought they were fun. Damn it.
No, they are fun. They still exist. Check them out.
Man,
like
so
his Twitter is basically all cosplays. It used to just be all I'm streaming.
I'm streaming in cosplay now.
No, but it wasn't so much that I don't feel Sneaky didn't do great. I put him as number 4, but I thought just Wild Turtle and Sven did more for their teams. Like, and that was a big thing for me, is not only, like, how well did you just play in your lane, but how much did you provide to your team? Like, because that's why I had Santorin. I had him at number 4, and I really struggled with only putting him there. You know, like, the reason I had Phoenix at number 2 in mid was because, like, I feel like he did a lot for Echo Fox, and the same with Solo up top.
I feel like that's what Sven did for TSM.
What?
I think that's what Sven did for TSM.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because I mean, Sneaky's good and all, but
So who are
I
you
don't think
putting
I'm
in the
gonna
bot
pick.
lane?
I don't think I'm gonna pick Wild Turtle, which is sad. Like I'm sad right
It's
now.
the hair. We knew it was gonna happen.
I
He
know.
dropped to 8th.
It's not why.
He doesn't actually deserve to be on the list anymore. He's like a 13.
He's below Asta.
I
and...
don't know. I want to give credit to Double Lift because I think he's a damn good ADC, even if like the last 2 weeks were trash, and his streaming is not that. Well, they just dick around in their streaming, so it doesn't. It's not like I'm gonna get LCS pro plays in that. Probably Double Lift third, Sneaky second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then finally support. We've got Biofrost, Ole, Vulcan, Smoothie, Hakuho, JJ, Big, Gate, Afromu, obviously, Zazel, and Core JJ.
Afromu is also my number 13. He doesn't even deserve to be on the list.
I went ahead, I put Smoothie as my 3, Zazel as my 2.
Oh, okay. That's probably exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
Smoothie second. I don't know.
All of these, I went back over them. I'm like, okay, am I picking people just because they're on Liquid Cloud9 TSM?
No, because they're better.
And I feel like when it comes to that role, those 3 teams just have the best supports in the league. Like, I think Vulcan had a pretty good season despite being with Piglet, Ole, Biofrost, Hakuho, JJ. Like, they all did pretty well. I wish I would have seen more of Gate. I think he could have been further up, as could have Optic, maybe been in playoffs. But, yeah, Smoothie, Zazel for me. I think Zazel played slightly better than Smoothie. I think he had more proactive plays, even though he made more mistakes than Smoothie did.
I'll go with that too, because I know what our first one's gonna be.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't matter. Everything after number 1 anyways.
Zazel, Smoothie, they're pretty interchangeable for me.
Yeah. Alright, so everyone's number 1. Top, we all have Licorice, right?
Yeah.
Yar.
Support, we all have Core JJ.
Yeah.
Yar.
Bot, we all have Double Lift.
Yar.
Alright,
Wait,
so...
number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For ADC?
Ooh, you don't? What do you
No.
have number 1?
I probably.
Oh, you said Double Lift,
Yeah,
didn't you?
Double Lift third.
You had Double Lift 3rd.
Yeah,
okay.
because he shot the bed the last
He
2
did.
weeks.
He did.
Yeah, but
okay.
when you already
Then-
have first place locked in, sometimes it's
I guess.
okay
I
to...
guess.
No, like when you're
True.
talking about year rewards, I'm not gonna say, oh, well, they were coasting. Like, fuck it. If you played bad, you played bad.
I think like probably Sven and Sneaky did better than Double Lift.
I mean, this is throughout the whole split, not just the last 2 weeks.
All right. That's hard.
Yeah. Alright, so I get it. Sven number 1 for you. We had Double Lift.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to mid lane. Who'd everybody have as their top mid laner?
Niski.
I actually had Niski as well.
I did too.
Niski.
I thought I would be alone on that one. I thought people would have
I
Jensen
have him
or
for the
Bjergsen.
next part. Yeah.
I have
No, Niski was just really good.
Yeah.
Like, and he
He had like one bad week, and it was his first week in NA.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like he had been here for a couple weeks, obviously, but yeah, like
And that okay, so the first week was only to TL.
yeah,
Like
he didn't play amazing against Hunter Thieves. He
Yeah.
played okay,
okay.
but yeah, I feel like Niski's been really fucking good all season.
Congratulations, Niski.
I'm
Very
shocked
excited.
we all ended up with Niski in the mid. That's wow.
All right, jungle was what was jungle?
Jungle. What do you have? Is your
I
top
said
jungler?
Santorin and then
I know I'm gonna
Oh,
be alone on
Sven
this
Skaren.
one. You went Sven Skaren number 1? Okay.
Yeah.
What did I guess you went? Oh, Tad. Oh
Skaren
no.
did well.
Shit, I don't even know what I did for my 2 and 3, so now who do I think... Well,
You
so,
can go back over them. It's fine. I'm curious what everybody in the chat has as their top jungler as well, since I think this one's probably the oddest one to pick. I thought mid was going to be really different on all of us, too. He has Santorin. I think Santorin was very good this year.
I do think Santorin was pretty good. I don't think he was the best jungler though.
I think Contracts was really good.
Think he was the best?
No.
Did
I,
you get,
I think the best has to be Xmithy.
I think Smithy's a really good argument for it. I went with Acadian, actually. I had
Wow.
Smithy as my number 2.
Oh.
I think Acadian has affected TSM as a team more than any other jungler, period.
I don't know. I can't agree with that. Okay, so
Like,
when I
because
said
I've
the-
watched TSM with the same or similar players on their team, split after split, year after year, and they don't do shit. They're never proactive. They never do anything early, and they have Acadian, and they're being aggressive in the jungle, and fuck, they're winning the early game over and over. And it's not that Bjergsen is being aggressive in lane. He still doesn't play aggressive in lane. He's not a lane mid player. He's a team mid player. It's Acadian. Like, their early leads happen because Acadians showing up and making shit happen, is the way I feel about it.
He also looks a lot better than Griggs. So.
Yeah. I thought Grig looked fine, too, when they weren't making him play Sejuani constantly. I would have liked to see Grig this split.
That's true. But that was last split, yeah.
This is that's the reason Zix was my number 2 for coaching, is because I think this has a lot to do with Zix.
Maybe that's how he hurt himself. He was trying new techniques in the jungle.
Right, yeah.
So, aside from the leaving the rift, Acadian also did the other thing, which I considered a mistake, by not ending the game when he possibly could have. And I think that
Which game was
huge.
that?
He was on Gragas, and I remembered it as I was thinking. And, like, his team had just gotten demolished. He was the only one alive. C9, I believe, is who they were up
against. The little
against.
base race that they tried to do.
And Gragas kind of, like, dicked around to the mid, finally, like, came back into the jungle to back, and he could have just stayed right there out of vision, waited for them to kind of start pushing up, and just go right into their base.
That was a big mistake, but, I mean, we also watched Xmithy look like garbage on Saturday this week.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's why I didn't
nobody this split ever was, like, clean all week long. And, like, looking back on it, yeah, I think Niski was probably the cleanest player. Him and Core JJ were the cleanest players in their role.
And
all
even
split.
Core JJ these last 2 weeks had made a couple, like...
Because, like, even Licorice, like, played a shit Aatrox game. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, we've seen some bad stuff.
So, I don't know. Like, you guys might disagree, but... I honestly think that TL did as poorly as they did is because they had the spot locked in.
It could be, but when it comes to voting the positions, I don't care. If you're good, be good.
Well, no. I don't disagree, but I feel...
No, did it play into it? I'm sure them losing... But them losing to Fox is more than coasting.
Yeah, you're probably right. They shouldn't be losing to, like, Cloud9 teams.
They had lost 2... Okay, they... had only lost to TSM, and then they finished by losing to FlyQuest Fox, and then TSM.
I'm sorry.
TSM again.
I meant TSM. They shouldn't be losing
to
people
TSM.
that are...
But we've only lost to TSM, and we have 3 games to go. What should we do? Well, let's lose to 2 just barely playoff, or, let's lose to 4th, and then the eventual 6. Like, if they don't lose to Echo Fox probably doesn't even make playoffs. That's, like, not only did they lose to 6th place, but if they don't lose to them, that's 7th, 8th place.
There could be, like, some potential collusion in there, but how funny is it that, like, Fox could have been like, well, maybe they're like, let's just see what happens if we get Fox in there.
So, there's a clip Rush was streaming, like, that night, and he was typing to, I think it was Jensen, like, they're chatting in League Client. He's like, thanks for losing and getting us into playoffs or whatever. And Jen's like, oh, are you guys locked in? Don't you have to beat he's like, are you guys locked in? You don't have to win tomorrow? He goes, no, but it's CLG, not BM, just science. And it's like, and they did. They shat on CLG.
That's true.
It wasn't BM. It was just science. Even Kind Boy can talk smack.
So what do you say for number 1 for
Jungle was Xmithy, which I think he'll probably win the award. Honestly.
I do like Acadian. It was hard not to put him number 3.
So MVP, which is the weirdest award in every sport, because it's like, you can say who was the best, who was the most valuable to their team. Like, there's a lot of ways to interpret this, and so you do end up with, like, very disparate things. Who do you have as your MVP of the split?
I put Core JJ and then Niski.
That's what I thought you were going to go, was Core JJ.
I was going to say the same thing.
Core JJ?
He's a great support. He does so much for his team as a support with the warding, clearing out wards, engaging.
Well, so
Rush is hilarious. Should be first team. I can't put Rush on first team. He had some really bad games.
Yeah.
Those Karthus games are unforgivable.
And the J4. Like, at least Karthus, he tried to win. J4, he just straight threw.
And maybe it's just that I lean into my supports, but I was going to do Zazel, like, close second / possibly.
I think he's very important to Cloud9 as well. I mean, you were saying Niski, and I think there's a really good argument to be made that, like, had they not been able to bring a good, consistent mid laner in, there's no way Cloud9 would be in the spot they are right now. I do think so too, yeah. Like, they lost Jensen. They're like, you! And, like, it worked. We all put him as first team mid. Like, what the fuck is that luck?
And it's not like he played... it's not like he carried the team every single time. It's not like he made these outstanding plays. He was just consistent and good and made good choices in his plays. And that's it. Good job. You didn't fuck up.
It's an amazing your mom joke.
Did you guys see like the little board
So he said, there's in college we would always make jokes, Spoo's mom, this and that, and it was like Al Borland's mom, where she's enormous kind of jokes. And he said, my mom dominates the sport, only safe answer. And the response was, your mom only dominates the sport because she's physically larger than it.
There was a little interview with JJ before one of the matches, and it was like, how do you feel about where you are right now? And he was like, I was in academy with Zazel, and like we were both like on the same round, and like Zazel got picked, and then I got picked over here, and like how crazy it is that like he's up there and I'm kind of down here type thing. Mm-hmm. I was just like, oh, that sucks for you, buddy.
Yeah, I wonder how many players on academy teams go, why the fuck couldn't have I been picked up by Cloud9 Academy? I'd be so much better than I am now.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't deny there's some magic sauce over there in the way they actually train and educate their players on how to be better players. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't consistently have players come up and then all your new ones still dominate because of luck. It's just, I mean, it's like, as much as I hate the Patriots, like, their coaching staff is really good and they have a deep bench because they're fucking good at teaching the game.
Side note.
Yeah.
For hating the Patriots.
Oh. Yeah, fuck the Patriots.
I
Gronk retired.
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, fuck fine. I just don't care. I hate the Patriots.
Gronk retired.
What?
Gronk announced his retirement.
Oh,
Gronkowski,
really?
yeah, he's done. Which I think smart on him. He's busted up his fucking leg like several times.
Yeah.
He's like a really
sports
great
ball thing.
Yeah, he's a really great personality. He's gonna make so much
same.
money. Like,
okay, cool.
Yeah.
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 All right, so who do you pick? Who do you both pick for the MVP?
You put Core JJ. You put Core JJ.
I think I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch to Zazel. I think that he deserves it more, considering where he came from versus where Core JJ came from.
Maybe that's true.
I guess I don't care where you necessarily came from, personally.
What you're doing now.
I mean, mostly like coming from Worlds last year and winning, and then like I mean, doing the same thing you did last year. Zazel just has grown in skill.
Right. Mine is, it's more of a deviation from the standpoint of like how am I defining it, and I think I go more with not just like who's the best, but like like if you take that player off the team, and you put in like an average of that role.
Why is Aframu gonna win again?
Yeah. Like who,
you take him off the team and the team gets tremendously better.
Better, yeah. But like if you were to replace any single player with like an average player in their role, like average for the LCS,
okay.
how much would it hurt the team? And because of that, I go with Acadian.
Yeah?
I think Acadian has mattered the most to this team. I don't think anyone is going to select Acadian as their number one.
And you say that over Zven.
Yeah.
That's
Zen was on that team last year, and he was not very good.
Yeah? All right.
I think all the difference to TSM is the way they play with their jungle now. That team is entirely different.
You weren't here for it, but we talked about how TSM was neutering their jungles basically every week. It was just...
Yeah.
It was Trundle and Sejuani on repeat,
like,
basically.
If you want to look back at like TSM as an organization, like post the odd one, they've consistently brought in good junglers and fucked them into the ground. Santorin is one of those former junglers.
Wow.
Svenskeren, one of those former junglers. They fucked in the ground. Then they go to other organizations after like a little bit of time, and they go, oh wait, I can play non-tanks, and then they're really fucking good again.
Yeah.
Like, Svenskeren right now is better than anything post-first season TSM Svenskeren. Santorin now is better than anything post-first split TSM Santorin. Like, they just consistently have done this. And to see Acadian, and I think it's a coaching change that Zix has established, no, we're going to let Acadian play aggressive. But I think if we had seen them do with Acadian what they've done with every other jungler and say, oh, yeah, play some Sejuani, and, you know, play, I don't know, fucking Nautilus or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. Like, just tank it up, be a ward, and, you know, only go to the lanes when they ask you to instead of going, hey, I'm coming here, we're ganking. I mean, I don't know what the comms are, and I'm sure Smoothie has something to do with that shot calling, too, coming from Cloud9. He's like, yeah, let's play with some aggressive jungle, it's fun. But it makes such a big fucking difference to that team. I mean, TSM didn't make Worlds last year for the first time. They missed playoffs in this, or no, they made playoffs and immediately got bounced. Both splits, I think.
Something.
But
that.
they weren't good last year. They were an Echo Fox Optic level team last year. And they're
last year Echo Fox, not this year Echo Fox.
No, this year Echo Fox Optic. TSM was that last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then this year TSM is the not even contested number 3. It is Liquid, Cloud9, TSM, and nobody's arguing with that. And then there's a gap, and then the other 3. And I think that has so much to do with the fucking jungle. And so I'm giving my MVP on those grounds to Acadian.
Aww.
So yeah.
I mean, I like Acadian. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, like, Core JJ is the other one comes to mind. Like, and I thought about it a lot, but personally, I was just like, well, how much did he really have to do? Like, Ole and Double Lift were the best bot lane last year.
Yeah, but no.
Cool, you still have Double Lift, and you're better than Ole. And you have a better mid laner now. And maybe your top laner is going down a little bit, but your jungler is also still awesome, and your top laner is still very good. Like, I don't know how much Ole actually brings to the team. So if I'm going by that like metric, that if I replace him with a standard support.
Did you see his interview as well, talking about how like he felt like he didn't like that there was a lot of discussion online about how he was getting carried.
I don't think he's getting carried. I just don't think that he can have as much of an effect on that team because of how good that team is top to bottom.
Yeah, it was just like another one of those little quick interview blurbs that I was listening to.
Yeah, no, he might be the best player on that team.
Yeah, I think
actually, like, when it comes down to it, he very well might be, which is why I would be considering him for MVP as opposed to, like, Double Lift, or maybe Xmithy could even get it, because I think Xmithy's has been very important to that team's success going on. I think last year he was... Did he get MVP? No, Double Lift got MVP second split last year. And I think Xmithy should have been in the consideration for it. But, yeah, it's just... I think when it comes to it, for me, he's not as valuable to that team as somebody like Acadian is to TSM.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
I can't disagree. You make very good points. So.
Well, and like I said, they're different interpretations of
sure.
what MVP means, so like that shit varies so widely.
Who'd you pick?
I picked Zazel.
Yeah, he switched off JJ.
Cool.
Core
so
JJ,
we all picked
that is.
different. If Niski gets it, though...
I don't think Niski would be in the running for MVP.
Because on that thing where they each get like MVP of a game, of one game, and then it tallies it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Core JJ has like
player
5
of the game
with
things.
like 3 other people who have 5, and Niski only had like 1. Niski was like solid the entire split.
Alright, so before we wrap up here, 2 things. Our predictions on the year.
Mm-hmm.
I went 57-33, which was 63 and a third. You went 52 and 33, so 61.18. Chase went 58 and 32, 64.44.
Nice.
So, I mean, yours, we would extrapolate up, you'd be right around like the 56, 55-ish range. Just because there's those 5 games. If you had all 5 of them right, you would tie me and be 1 behind Chase still.
Yeah, suck it. I'm uncontested.
So I still would have not won.
No, you couldn't have 1.
But I would have done that.
And in a comparison, though, to the actual analyst desk, like I said, 52 right, but we'll extrapolate up to 56. 56, 57, 58, high with 59. Mark Z and the StatsBot had 60.
That's crazy.
Just on their fucking heels.
Yeah.
What can I do? Be better, I guess.
And then from our preseason or early season rankings,
Yeah.
you and me were legit preseason. You were after week 1.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Or no, after week 2, wasn't it?
It was on week 2.
It was.
I
Oh,
think
okay.
I
It was
made the,
before
like,
week 2
yeah.
played.
Like I think not before they played, but before the this. Like I did it. Before
Right.
This.
Okay. So
she came in at episode 2. We had done 1 episode.
okay. So it was only
without her.
after week 1 games then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to win. Oh, right. Because we had her predictions for day 2 of week 1. That's right. Okay. So you made your things after 1 week of play. We made ours before the first week, and I went ahead and judged. So. Perfect, dead on their placement. And granted, CLG and Optic both count as 7 and 8 because they're dead tied and there's no tiebreaker there. They like split their games even.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I did bad. Look
I
where
had
put Fly
I had
Quest.
2 of them exactly right.
Yeah.
TL and Cloud9. We
all
all
had
had those
TL and
right.
Cloud9.
Look where I had Clutch.
I know.
It makes me sad.
Chase had 4 exactly right.
He did?
He also had Golden Guardians correct at 5th. And he had either CLG or Optic correct at 7-8.
Yeah. Okay.
Heather also had 4 correct. You had
I know I had
either CLG or Optic, and then you had FlyQuest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, if we assign 1 point per space you're wrong, I had 25 points.
I have negative points.
Heather has 16 points, which is better. You were only off 16 slots, and Chase had 19. So Heather was the closest with a 1-week head start.
And that one we didn't need shit.
Excuse me.
For the rest of my picks, like
100 Thieves. We had at
first
3 and 6. You got to put them at 9.
Okay. Yeah.
It makes a bit of a difference.
For the record, though, I did scratch it out from like 6.
Yeah,
So.
and that made all the difference there. Had you left them at 6, you would have had 3 more points, and you and Chase would have tied.
Yeah, suck it. You could be as bad as me.
All right.
But yeah, because that's the big one. Like, I had 6 points on 100 Thieves, he had 4, you had 1. And that was the worst one off. Chase had Clutch off 6 points. You had them really high. You put them at 3.
I did.
And you had FlyQuest off 6 points. You put them dead last. You put FlyQuest dead last. Would you like to apologize to Wild Turtle and his bowl cut?
No. If you didn't get that bowl cut, I would be apologetic. That bowl cut, I feel sorry for you.
All right, so that's going to do it, though, for episode 10 of League of Vloggers. We've got quarterfinals this weekend. Once again, it is FlyQuest Golden Guardians on Saturday and TSM Echo Fox on Sunday. And we'll be back to recap that and talk about who TL picked and who Cloud9 will be playing on the other side. Yeah, they'll be immediately following the Sunday games. TL will make their pick.
Oh, nice. Cool. Awesome.
Yep, so everybody have a good weekend. I'll hang out for a little bit if there's chat to talk about, but that's going to wrap it up for the episode. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.